Hi, I'm Alan Low. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Azure Sphere OS SDK for IoT Connect on the Azure Sphere Development Kit. The SDK can be found in the github.com/avnet-IoT Connect. The SDK name is IoTC-Sphere OS-SDK. Let's click into the SDK main page. You can find all the SDK source code in the IoTC-AZ Sphere-SDK folder. There's this basic sample code that you can build, and it will demonstrate on how to use the SDK to establish a secure link and send telemetry data to the IoT cloud with the Azure Sphere device. Before we proceed, you need to get ready three things. The first one is the Azure Sphere development kit itself. There are three kits here. The first one is from Avnet and the other two is from the SIGs. You can purchase any one of them to start Azure Sphere development. The second thing is you need to have a Microsoft account. If you do not have, you can go to account.microsoft.com and you can create a new account by clicking create a Microsoft account. Thirdly, you need to have an IoT Connect account. If you do not have it, you can go to www.iotconnect.io and you can click contact us. Then you can send an email to a sales representative or you can contact a Avnet sales to request for an account. Let's go through the README content. The Azure Sphere has been tested working on Azure Sphere for MediaTek MT3620 MCU chipset and also Guardian hardware that support this chipset. There are links here that talk about the hardware design for Azure Sphere. If you're interested, you can click in and take a look. There are also links here for the repository on the real-time call using the samples. Before you can use the sample, you need to set up the Azure Sphere development tools. We will follow the installation guide here to install all the tools step by step. We will set up the SDK development tools on Windows. So we click Install Windows SDK. For the development environment, we will choose to use Visual Studio Code. We need to install Azure Sphere SDK, followed by CMake and Ninja on Windows, and lastly is the Visual Studio Code. Once we install Visual Studio Code, you can install the Azure Sphere extension for the Visual Studio Code. You can click on the links provided in this page to download all the installers. I already downloaded all the installers in my installers folder, so I'll just run the installation one by one. Firstly is the Azure Sphere SDK 21.10. Double click, click I agree, and next, and click install. As the installation takes a while, I will skip the wait and I will continue when the installation is complete. Okay, now the installation has been completed. We will click on close. And next is to install CMake for Windows. Double click, click next, I agree, next. Depends on your Windows environment. If you are having admin right, then you can add the system path for all users. Else you can add the system path, add the CMake directory to the system path for the current user. So I will do is to add the CMake path to the system path for all user. Click next, next, and install. Okay, it's done. So we click finish. Next is to install the Ninja for Windows. It actually comes in zip files. So what we need to do is to unzip it. And when you double click in, you can see that it contains a ninja.exe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this ninja win folder outside the installer directory, paste here, double click on it, and then copy the path. We are going to add this path to the system path environment. Go to the start button, right click and click search. Type env and you will see the edit system environment variables. Just enter and click on the environment variables button. So I'm going to add into the system variables, search for path, then click edit, click on new, then we just paste the path to the new entry and OK. Let's go back to the installer directory. Okay, lastly is to install the Visual Studio Code for 1.62.1. So I will double click on it. I accept the agreement. Next, next, next. We all leave it as a default, then install. Okay. Once installed, it will launch the Visual Studio Code. Okay. In the Visual Studio Code, on the left hand side, you can see there's this extension icon. You just click on it, and then at the search path, you just type Azure Sphere, and then you can see that there's this Visual VS Code extension for Azure Sphere. Click on the install button, and yep, then the Azure Sphere extension is installed. Now that we have completed all the tools installation, we can connect the Azure Sphere device to the PC using a micro USB cable. Once it is connected to the USB, the PC will install the USB driver automatically, and once it's completed, you will see 3 COM ports listed in the device manager. You can see that the COM ports in the device manager, there is 3 COM ports listed here. Go to the command prompt, type Azure Sphere device list attached. As you can see, there's one device attached, and the device ID is this. If you are using the Azure Sphere device for the first time, you will need to ensure that it contains the latest firmware. To do so, we will type Azure Sphere device recover. This will download the latest firmware image from the cloud and then write the image to the Azure Sphere device. As this takes a while, I will skip the wait and I will continue when the recovery is completed. Okay, recovery done. Next, we will need to register your Microsoft account to the Azure Sphere device. To do so, you need to type Azure Sphere, register, user, new user, and you need to specify the email address that you use to register the Microsoft account. For example, abc@gmail.com. Hit enter and there will be a login screen pop up. Log in to your Microsoft account, and once you log in successfully, your account will be added to the Azure Sphere device. I already added my Microsoft account to this Azure Sphere device, so I'll skip these steps. And instead, I will need to log in to my existing Microsoft account that has been added to this to this Azure Sphere device. So I'll type login. Login to the Microsoft user that I added to the device, and login successful. So I close the window here, and you can see that now I have logged into my Microsoft account alan.low@avnet.com. We will need to create a tenant for the device. We will type AZ Sphere tenant create dash name and the tenant name that you want to create. For me, I put Alan Low. When you hit enter, the tenant Alan Low will be created in the Azure Sphere device. As I already create this tenant Alan Low, so I will just skip these steps. Next, you will need to select a default tenant. For me, I will select Alan Low as my default tenant. So I'll type AZ Sphere tenant select dash tenant, and you can type the tenant name that you want. I'll put Alan Low, hit enter, and you can see that Alan Low tenant is being selected. To confirm, we can type AZ Sphere tenant show selected, and you should see the same output. Next, we will need to claim the device. When we type AZ Sphere device claim and you hit enter, the device will be claimed by the default tenant, and this cannot be undone. As I already claimed my device to Alan Low tenant, so I will skip this. Next, we will need to configure the device to development mode. To do so, we will need to type AZ Sphere device enable development. Enter. This will take a while, so I will skip the wait and I'll continue once it has completed. Okay, done. Lastly, we will need to add your home Wi-Fi access point to this Azure Sphere device. This will allow the application running on this Azure Sphere device to be able to connect to the internet using your home Wi-Fi. To do so, you need to type command AZ Sphere device Wi-Fi add. You need to specify the SSID of your home AP followed by --psk, which is the preset key of your home AP. Hit enter and your home AP will be added to the Azure Sphere device. I already added my home AP to this Azure Sphere device, so I will skip these steps. And now I will ensure that the Azure Sphere device is connected to the home AP. To do so, you type AZ Sphere device Wi-Fi show status. As you can see that this is my home AP SSID and the connection state is connected. We have finished setting up the Azure Sphere device. Now we will proceed to set up the IoT Connect to work with Azure Sphere device. You will need to log on to the IoT Connect portal. Go to the browser, type avnet.iotconnect.io, enter. You will need to log on using the email address that you used to register. Click the password and click login. Okay, now we have logged into the IoT Connect portal. To enable IoT Connect to work with Azure Sphere device, you need to enable two features. You need to send the feature request to the backend by clicking on the question mark, contact support, enable feature request. We need to enable unassociated device and Sphere device feature. Click on Save button here to send the feature request to the backend for processing. This may take 1 or 2 days. You will receive an email notification once the feature has been enabled. As I already enabled the feature, so I will skip this step. I will show you how to ensure that these two features has been enabled. First, you need to go to device and you need to see unassociated device in this UI. This is to ensure that you have enabled the unassociated device feature. Second is to go to setting, keyvar, and click on the DPS info. You should see scope ID for Azure Sphere device and also the associated hub URL. This is to ensure that you have enabled the Azure Sphere device feature. These two information is important and will be used later to fill in the application manifest for the simple sample project. Once these two features has been enabled, the next thing is we need to do is to upload the tenant CA certification to this portal. Go to the command prompt. We will need to download the tenant CA cert from the Azure Sphere device to the local PC. We need to type the command Azure Sphere CA certification download dash destination. We will save it to C. This is to download the default tenant certification. So the default tenant now is Alan Low. So the name will be Alan Low CA dot CER as the extension. Succeeded. We go back to the portal, click device, certificates. We'll need to create a new CA certificate. We'll give the name as Azure Sphere Alan Low CA. Click on the browse on the upload certification field. Okay, so Alan Low demo. This is the certificate that we want to upload. Double click and you need to check this checkbox to tell the IoT Connect portal that this CA cert is a Azure Sphere tenant CA certificate. Click Save. And you have a new entry with the status pending. We will now need to verify this CA cert using the verification code provided here. So what we need to do is to click this icon to copy this verification code. Go back to the command prompt. We will need to generate a verification certificate using the verification code provided from the Azure Sphere device. So we need to type in Azure Sphere CA certificate. The command will be download dash proof. We need to specify the verification code here. Okay, now we need to paste the verification code and we need to specify a destination. Save to the same location. Alan demo. The name will be Alan. ca-v.cer. Enter. Okay, succeeded. Go back to the IoT Connect portal. There's a upload icon enabled here. Click on it and click browse to upload the verification certificate. Okay, so we double click on the verification certificate, and lastly we click verify. And now you can see that the status is changed to verified. Next, we need to create a template for the Azure Sphere device. Go to device, as templates, and create template. We'll give a template code ASALT1. Name will be Azure Sphere Allen Low template 1. The authentication type we will choose CA site certificate. Click save, and we need to add two attributes to the template. First one will be temperature. Data type will be number. Click save. Next will be humidity. Data type number. Click save. Okay, now we have created a template with the name AS Allen Low template 1, and it contains two attributes, temperature and humidity. We have finished installing all the development tools. Now we will proceed to download the SDK samples. We will use Git client to clone the SDK sample to the local PC. To do so, we will need a Git client. If you cannot install any Git client, you can click on the link provided here, click Windows, and the installer will be automatically downloaded and installed. I already downloaded the Git client installation, so I will skip the to download here, and I will proceed to run the installer here. Click next for all, and then install. Okay, installation completed. So we will check the launch git bash and uncheck the view release node. Click finish, and there will be a git bash appear. I would like to clone the SDK sample to my Allen demo directory. So I will change the directory here to C Allen demo. Click enter. Okay, now my local directory will be Allen demo. Go back to the README. There's this git clone command provided in the README. Copy the command from the README. Go to the git bash. Okay, paste and click enter. This will clone all the necessary source code needed for the sample code into your local PC. Okay, this is done. So I will type a ls, and now as you can see that in my C Allen demo, I have an additional directory called IoTC Sphere OS SDK. In the Visual Studio Code, we will now open the simple sample project. Go to the left toolbar, click on Explorer, click on Open Folder. Go to C drive, Allen demo, IoTC Sphere OS SDK, samples, and basic sample. Click Select Folder. Once the project is loaded, the Visual Studio Code will automatically configure the project. Once it's done, we can open the apps manifest.json file. And in this manifest, we will need to fill in 3 missing parameters. The first one will be the IoT Connect scope ID for Azure Sphere device. The second one will be the IoT Connect associated hub URL for the Azure Sphere device. And the third one will be the default tenant ID that will be used to do the authentication. We can go to the IoT Connect portal, click Home, Settings, Kiva, click on the DPS info, and we will need to copy the scope ID and the associated hub URL to fill in the manifest. Click on the icon, copy icon here to copy the scope ID. Go back to the manifest, and then we will need to paste the scope ID here. Do the same to the associated hub URL. Click copy. Go back to the manifest, and we'll need to add to the allowed connection list. Make sure that we put a comma, and then we start with double quote, paste, and then we need to end with the double quote. Next, we will go to the command prompt. We type Azure Sphere tenant show selected. Okay, we will copy the tenant ID here for the Alan Law tenant. Go back to the manifest, and we will paste here. Okay, now we have completed all the parameters that we need. We will save the manifest. Now we can build the project. Click on the cmakelist.txt, right click on it, and then select build all project. Okay, so now the project has been built successfully. Now we can start to run the sample code on the Azure Sphere device. Go to run, click start debugging, and now it's deploying the image to the Azure Sphere device. Starting application. This part takes a while. Okay, now it's established a secure link. Okay, so now we start to send hello message to the IoT Connect, and we have received a IoT hello message response of error code 3. This is because the device is connecting to the IoT Connect for the first time, and it has not associated to any template yet. So what we need to do is to go to the IoT Connect portal and associate the device to a template. Let's go to the IoT Connect portal. We go to device. We go to unassociated device, and we can see that our Azure Sphere device is now in the unassociated device list. You can click on the icon here that will do associate template. Entity will be select Singapore. Template, we will select the template that we built for the Azure Sphere. AS Allen Law template 1. Certificate, we will select the tenant certificate that we uploaded, which is this. And lastly, we need to type yes to confirm. Click associate button. Okay, now you can see that this list is empty now. Let's go back to the Azure Sphere, and we will still try to send hello message, and now we get a proper hello message response with a SID. After we get this, then we can send the telemetry data. You can see that we are sending temperature and humidity. Both are simulated data as we have not connect any sensor to the Azure Sphere device. Let's go to the portal. You can go to the device, click device, and we can see that now our device is in the device list. Click on it. Okay, you can see that now the connection status is green color, which is represent connected. We can go to the live data. Here you can see all the telemetry data that is being sent by our Azure Sphere device, temperature and humidity. That's all for my video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.